$1,247. That's not your savings. That's your balance. You check it at 11:43 p.m., lying on a mattress you bought secondhand from someone on Facebook Marketplace. You check it again at 11:44. The number doesn't change. $31,000 in student loans. $4,200 on a credit card. And a direct deposit that hits on Friday that is already spent. You are 23 years old. And you are telling yourself, I am not behind. I am not behind. But every grocery run is a calculation. You put the olive oil back. You get the store brand. You split a streaming password with someone you don't even like that much anymore because canceling feels like losing ground. This is what zero feels like. Not dramatic. Not cinematic. Just a low, constant hum arithmetic running underneath everything you do. Today, I'm going to show you the entire journey. From $1,247 to $94 million. And I'm going to tell you what nobody else tells you what it actually costs along the way. Not in dollars. In distance. Nobody talks about money at this level. But everybody is doing the same math. You watch your bank app more than your messages. You know your account number by heart. You move $200 to savings and move it back 3 days later. At this level, money is not a tool. Money is the air. Either you have enough or you're already suffocating. And you can't always tell which one it is. This video is not about a number. It's about the identity that changes as the number grows. And I'm going to show you what I wish I had known from the start. Rule 1: at zero, your relationship with money is entirely emotional. And emotional decisions compound in the wrong direction. You get a raise. $6,000 a year before tax. It lands as $387 extra per month. You feel rich for approximately one afternoon. Then the car needs $900 in brake pads and rotors. You learn, expenses expand to meet whatever space you make for them. But then, you pay off the smallest card. $1,200. You screenshot the zero balance. You send it to nobody because nobody would understand why this screenshot means what it means to you. But it means everything. Because for the first time, a number moved in the right direction because of a decision you made. That's the beginning. And when $10,000 in savings hits, for the first time, you're 26, you check it constantly that first week. Not out of anxiety this time. Out of disbelief. You've never had 5 figures before. Not once. And you feel like you've crossed into a different category of person. You haven't. But you feel it. Rule 2: salary is a ceiling dressed up as a floor. The moment you see it clearly, you cannot unsee it. You're making $68,000 a year. You've got $40,000 saved. You have a Roth IRA you're actually contributing to. You feel stable. Fine. Then one night you open a spreadsheet and run an honest projection all the way out. 40 years. The number at the end is fine. It's enough. It is not what you want. This is the competence plateau. You are good at surviving. You are not yet good at building. So you start a side project. You don't call it a business. It's just a thing you do on weekends. $400 a month. Then $900. Then $1,700. You reinvest everything back into it for 14 months. You eat the same lunches. You don't upgrade anything. Net worth crosses $80,000. Then $110,000. For the first time you feel the gap between where you are and where a salary alone would have taken you. The gap is where the leverage lives. You're 32. $150,000 net worth. Rental property with $44,000 in equity. Brokerage at $61,000. Business generating $6,200 a month. Same car. Still driving it. You don't tell people about any of this. You've noticed that talking about money at this level makes people strange, either envious or dismissive. Neither is useful. You start saying no to things that used to be automatic yes. A destination wedding you can't afford without liquidating something, no. A group holiday where you'd be subsidizing 3 people, no. A business pitch from a friend who doesn't understand cash flow, no. You feel the friction in the relationships. You feel it, and you stay quiet, and you say no anyway. Rule 3: you stop spending money to maintain relationships. You start protecting capital to build options. At $300,000, your money starts having a personality. It has preferences. One investment returns $22,000 in 8 months. One loses $9,400. You don't panic about the loss. Not because you don't care about $9,400. You do. But because you understand now this is the cost of being in the game. You don't pull back. You reposition. Below $500,000, you are buying assets. Above it, assets start buying each other. A Tuesday. Nothing ceremonial about it. Your brokerage updates. $1 million. You sit with it for a moment. You thought you'd feel different. You thought there'd be something. There's a quiet satisfaction. And then, almost immediately, it's not enough. Not in a frantic way. In a clear, practical way. $1 million at a 4% return is $40,000 a year. That's not freedom. That's a starting point. And for the first time, you're honest with yourself. Happiness was never the point. And you're only just admitting that now. Rule 4: the millionaire arrives and realizes the milestone was never the destination. It was the proof of concept. At $5 million, the game changes texture. You are no longer working for capital. You are moving capital. The distinction sounds small. It is enormous. You're in a deal that will return $800,000 in 18 months. You're in another that might return nothing. You know the difference, and you're in both anyway, because one de-risks the other, and the correlation between them is the actual trade. That sentence is one you couldn't have understood 4 years ago. Rule 5: at $10 million, your reputation becomes a financial instrument. It earns returns independent of your decisions. At $14 million, you walk into rooms you used to only read about. A meeting with a family office managing $600 million who wants to co-invest alongside you. A call from a private equity firm looking for operating partners. You are at the table not because you were invited as a courtesy, but because your capital and your pattern recognition are genuinely useful to the people in the room. That is a different experience of being powerful. At $30 million, you have structures in place that will outlive you. A trust. A foundation. You are 54. Rule 6: above $50 million, money stops measuring your worth. It starts measuring your reach. At $80 million, the isolation is not loneliness. It's a different problem. The people in your life exist at a remove from what your reality actually is. Your closest friendships are with people who operate at the same altitude, not by design, just by the natural selection of conversation. Fund structure. Regulatory positioning. Dynasty trusts. Secondaries. Carve-outs. It simply doesn't translate. And you give more than you ever have. Not for reputation. Not for access, though you understand that's part of it. You give because at this level, money has stopped being a measure of anything meaningful about you. And giving is one of the remaining things that still feels like a decision. That still means something. You are 61. Net worth, $94 million. You don't think in quarters. You don't think in years. You think in cycles. And somewhere in this city right now, there is a 24-year-old. Standing in line at a grocery store. Opening his bank app. $1,247. He puts the good coffee back. Gets the store brand. He thinks this is a story about money. He thinks if he just makes more of it, something will resolve. He doesn't know yet what has to resolve. He doesn't know what it will cost. Not in dollars, in distance. In the gap that opens between who you are at the beginning and who you have to become to reach the end. The machine doesn't ask if you're ready. It doesn't ask if the trade is worth it. It opens every morning and takes whoever shows up. And whoever shows up consistently, patiently, without flinching, without stopping to ask the question everyone else is asking. They compound. The money compounds. And so does everything else. The balance is $1,247. It always starts there. It always will. If this video gave you one thing, send it to one person who's standing in that grocery line right now. They'll know exactly why you sent it. Subscribe if you want me to keep having this conversation. Next video, I'm covering the one thing every piece of financial advice gets wrong, and it's costing you more than you think.